My name is Mohammad Saad Khan, and I am the organizer of today's meeting. Today, our topic is work-life balance really a myth? Now, before we get further into the discussion, I would like you, I would like to introduce all of our group members.
My name
Well,
is
my
Bilal
name is
Arshad.
my name is Mohammad Saif Fadam Malik.
It's
My name
me,
is
My name
San.
is
Rafi Sayyed.
my name is Sayyid Umar Rashid.
It's me, Hisan Wasim.
My name is Bilal Ahmed.
My name is Sayyed Amar.
My name is Bilal Arshad.
My name is Muhammad Abdullah.
Now that we have the introductions out of the way, let's proceed with our meeting. So, work-life balance is a renowned concept that refers to a situation when a person has a regular and sustainable source of income, while at the same time is able to take out enough time to relax with his or her loved ones or do things that they find entertaining in order to regularly rejuvenate themselves and avoid experiencing burnout. However, in today's fast-paced world, maintaining a work-life balance requires creativity, passion for work, and a contemporary way of thinking. As corporate life stretches to late-night hours, many employees have started to wonder if blending work lives into personal life is really possible, and is there really such a thing as perfect work-life balance?
Well, Sath, I think that balance is achievable. Well, the 34th president of the United States, Amos.
Yeah. Saad, I want to ask that if we want to create the work and the life balance, which is quite a difficult task for everyone, then what steps we have to take? Because according to the latest survey of Ernest and Young, one third of the full-time workers globally say that it becomes quite difficult for them to maintain the work and the life balance. 9,700 workers in the US, China, Mexico, Brazil, India, and Japan, etc., revealed that they were working for longer hours and harder than ever before, leaving very little time for anything else. Now, I am not denying the fact that we are living in a golden age of workplace stress, largely due to changing the role of work in our life. But when work and life blend into each other, then how can we begin to achieve an equilibrium that supports our social, that supports our physical, mental, and emotional health? Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. So, Seth, is there something you would like to add to what Omar said?
Yes, I think that work-life balance is actually achievable because the 34th president of the United States actually inspired professional elites to make a uh, system that allows a person to prioritize their work. By prioritizing their work, they can achieve a efficient work-life balance, such as their core values, their family, their friends, their work, their health. The Eisenhower matrix, named after the 34th president himself, basically allows you to prioritize, such as if the objective is urgent and important, then do it now because it takes the highest priority. If an objective is urgent and not important, then delegate it because, to someone because it may be urgent, but it is not important to you. However, if a work is not urgent but important, schedule it, but make sure to do it. And if a objective is neither urgent and neither important, then simply delete it.
Thank you, Seth. Bilal Arshad, would you like to say something to this?
Yes, I agree with him with the part of like prioritization, but I don't believe that there exists a balance because when you say that there exists a balance, you're basically what you're doing is that you're comparing your whole life with the things you like and with the things you don't like, and you're trying to find a pivotal point where you think there exists a balance. Well, if you think it's like this, let's just assume that work is we don't like work, right? We don't like work. We have to like associate a lot of energy and time on it. So what we do is that we don't do work, right? We just take it out of our life. What happens then is that we're just left with the good things, okay? But then what happens is that uh, when we're left with the good things, we still don't feel happy. What do we do then? Then we maybe take our marriage and then we take it apart. What happens because of that? What happens is slowly but surely we will have nothing left. We will be empty to the bottom. So I
Thank you,
think,
Bilal Arshad. Uh,
yeah.
Abdul Rafi, would you like to add something to what Bilal Arshad said?
The statements which Saf made are good to hear, but it's easier said than done. It has become increasingly difficult in these times to balance both work and life. And the studies from various institutions have shown us that it is not so easy to balance both work and life at the same time. According to 2010 National Health Interview Survey Occupational Health Supplement data, 16% of US workers reported difficulty balancing both work and family. And the findings were more prevalent among middle-aged workers, but the percentage of workers who could not balance both work and family reduced as their skill dropped, since only 15% of workers without a higher school education were not able to balance both work and family. So this shows us that if a person has a higher level of job, then he has to work more hard in these times, and thus he is not able to balance both work and family.
Thank you, Abdul Rafi. I would like to add something what Abdul Rafi and Bilal Arshad had said so far. So the thing is, most people believe that having a hectic day at work or simply spending more time at work means that attaining a perfect balance between the two is impossible. However, they couldn't be more wrong. Even if one spends the majority of his or her day working, as long as they set aside time for recreation and are content with their lifestyle, then they have in fact achieved work-life balance. This means that as long as you are in harmony with both your work and your life, you are already in perfect work-life balance and thus are one step closer to the pursuit of happiness. Bilal Ahmer, would you like to add something to this?
Okay, now I want to clarify the thoughts of every member in the group that in theory the concept of work-life balance seems to make sense, splitting your days and weeks between a collaborative and connected work life, while also enjoying personal activities and leisure time with friends, family, pursuing hobby, exercise, or just cooking. But what I think work-life balance is a myth. I believe work-life balance, as it's traditionally defined, doesn't actually exist anymore. Traditionally, we see work and life as competing activities fighting for our time. There's work and then there's free time. Implying that work is not free, and the term balance implies that more work automatically means less life. But where I take issue with that is we only have one life. We just happen to live some of it while, while working and some of it work in other activities.
Ihsan, would you like to add something to what Bilal Ahmer said?
Can you repeat it?
Would you like to add something to what Bilal Ahmer just said? Or do you want
Yes,
to add something new
I
to
will
the
like to
discussion?
start with the quote. I will like to start with the quote that you will never be truly satisfied by work until you are satisfied by life. So you must have to maintain both in order to live a happy and peaceful life. As you might heard that the early bird catches the worm, but it's not suitable for everyone. Most of the successful entrepreneurs of the world wakes up early in the morning, like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, and even Mark Zuckerberg wakes up early in the morning, and a lot of successful people do. The idea is that if you are up bright and early, you have more time to get things done. As a result, you will have more time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Everyone wants to work in schedule, like they want to wake up early in the morning and wants to do their work and task on time, but that doesn't work for everyone. Some people are more productive at night, and some are even in afternoon. Also, whether you are realize it or not, you are adding more work hours to your day. That's not terrible when there is a deadline or a file to put out, but that's not good for a long term because you are going to burn out yourself. The key is to work around your productivity speaks, like find the quality time in which you can give your best. Like if you are more alert and focused around 10 a.m., then it may be not beneficial to set your alarm at 4 a.m. So you must have to work at 10 a.m. and then spend the leisure time with your friends and family.
I think work-life balance is achievable to some extent. Uh, you can achieve work-life balance. Can you hear my voice? Hello.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Uh, Work-life balance can be maintained by the following steps. First of all, I think while we set a lot of goals, we grow up listening to unrealistic standards, or we have to listen to a lot of motivational videos, which as due to only grind and don't take rest. We seem to set our goals in a way that we take a lot of goals and thereby we mess up with our brains. So it's better while setting our goals, we clarify ourselves of our needs and make different time division in all fields. That could be our life, that could be our personal life, that could be our work life, that could be our relationships, meditation, and our own time, etc. The other thing that I find really helpful is that once you set goals, it is important to time batch the activities. Once you have clarified the goals in your brain, what you want to do in life, it's better to time batch the things. The time batch is a method that is used to specify some days or some times or some amount of time completely for other activity and do not get distracted in other activity and to complete it into the given time. So I think time batching is really effective, and it is practiced around the world. Also delegating the task, it's not easier for a person to do all the tasks on his own self. We are interdependent creatures, so we need to assign, we need to do some of the tasks now or never kind of a thing. So we to do the we to do this task the time around the clock. The other thing that could that we could do to utilize our time maximally and to be efficient with our work is to delegate the task. For example, if I am working somewhere in the office and I have to do all the work, then it could be so hectic for me. So for every work there is a different field. So it would be better for me to go to the consult department person and to ask them to do this thing. For example, if I am the manager, I'm gonna create the Excel file. I'm not gonna create the Excel file. That would administration gonna do it. So I will go to the administration department and I'm gonna ask that person, I'm gonna delegate my task. It will save my time, it will save my effort, and I will be more focused, and it would save my time to fix into other activities like playing games.
Thank you.
And
Does anyone else like to add to what Abdullah said?
Yeah, as everyone said that work-life balance is achievable, but it's very hard. If you need a prosperity in your business, you have to work off hours. If you want to achieve a goal without working off hours, you can achieve it, but it will become a long-term work and it will be less beneficial. There is also the crucial distinction between hours that you put in the office and the amount of work that you take home with you. If you graph the number of hours in the office for all workers, entrepreneurs, and others, you might see that they are relatively comparable. Entrepreneurs aren't necessarily putting more hours in at the office. However, if you created that same graph for numbers of hours obsessively thinking about work, you'd see a significant difference between entrepreneurs and others. In other words, entrepreneurs may not be physically at work or at all the, at work all the time, but they are never really leaving work. And due to this, they become a powerful businessman. That's it.
A famous writer, Stephen Covey, stated in his book, The 5 a.m. Club, that it doesn't matter how much time you put in some task, but it's about how much output it produces.
So Rafi, would you like to add something to that?
Yes, I would like to agree with Umar that most of the entrepreneurs have to work off hours so that they can produce better results. In these rising inflation rates, the entrepreneurs have to work 24/7 as they have to put food for their family on the table. One study shows that 40% of entrepreneurs say that it's okay to answer an urgent work email at the dinner table, and 57% of age of employees say that technology has ruined the modern family dinner because employees expect responses at any hour. And especially during these times of quarantine, you are every time connected to your work through your phone. And thus it has become very difficult to balance both work and life, especially during these quarantine times. Thank you.
So, myth is that we need to compartmentalize our life. For some of us, that means an even 50-50 split where we spend half our time at work and half our time at home. For others, it dividing our days into 8 hours block. This long standing mentality is that we should spend 8 hours at work, sleep, and for another 8 and set aside 8 hours for leisure and social activities. The thing is that it's not possible to eventually divide your time like this. There will be days when you have to put 10 hours of work. The trade-off is that there will be others when you only work for a couple of hours. Instead of forcing yourself to complement your life, devote the right amount on time on your current priorities. If you are approaching a deadline, then you may need to put in long hours of your working. You may miss a put on quality time with your family and friends at the moment. But however, when you meet the deadline and celebrate with a vacation, then you can make up with quality time with your friends and family. Another myth is that we need to compromise life. For some of us, that means even 50-50 of a sleep. That means that the thing is that it's not possible to eventually divide. Instead of forcing to compromise the devote right amount of current priorities, if you are approaching to deadline, then you may put need in working long hours. You may miss out on quality time with your family and friends at the moment. However, when you meet that deadline and celebrate with a vacation, and that's okay and that's good. When you make up that quality time with your friends and family.
Thank you.
Well, I will also like to add that um, just because we give more hours to a work doesn't mean it will be more efficient. For example, a German company found out that by reducing the working hours, it actually experienced more productivity from the employers. So I want to counter the point that simply just adding hours to a work will not make it more productive. By concentrating on it and focusing on it will actually let you a better goal and aim for your work that you have set.
Okay, I want to add to that why is it that most of the successful entrepreneurs like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs had to work for 11 hours from 8 a.m. till midnight, and they have to work for 6 days in a week, and even on Sundays they received emails regarding some issues, but work-related issues. Why is it that happens? Why is it most of the entrepreneurs that are successful have worked hours into just work?
Bilal, you said in Europe people work or entrepreneurs work every day, even on Sunday. So according to your point, they are sacrificing their personal life for work and are productive. However, in August 2019, an experiment by Microsoft Japan showed that employees being given a 4 days work week resulting in them being 40% more productive and happy. That is, they had more time for family and personal life. How will you justify it?
Umar Rashid, would you like to add something to what Abdullah just said?
I agree with Bilal Arshad. I would like to add that Brian Hamilton wrote in his article that entrepreneurs and potential entrepreneurs have no choice but to focus on the first two themes: developing sound business ideas and growth strategies. The success of their business depends on their ability to achieve strength in these areas. However, while I completely understand the desire for work-life balance, I fear that time is spent on achieving this is a time misspent. In my personal experience, work-life balance for entrepreneurs is nothing but a myth. Brian Hamilton is a great entrepreneur and a co-founder of the SageWorks. That's it.
Okay, so there's one thing I would like to add here. Now, I don't completely agree with what Bilal, Ashraf, Umar, or Abdul Rafiq had said earlier, but I do completely agree with Abdullah and Hassan. So the thing is, we have to stop feeling guilty about not achieving the balance. The bottom line here is that the idea of balance that this society tries to force upon us doesn't actually work with this thing called life. So we have to stop feeling guilty about not achieving the ideal balance and instead of work on what makes us feel balanced. You see, the thing is, if we have a very hectic, busy life, then just like Hassan said, that we can actually work out our priorities. We can do the important things together. And the thing is, we don't really have work-life balance is not like 50% work and 50% life. It doesn't have to be this way that we have to spend the equal amounts of time on other things. We can in fact spend more time working, or we can in fact spend more time on a recreation activity as compared to actual working. But the thing is, we should be content with what we are doing. We should produce satisfactory results, whether it's while working or whether it's while giving ourselves enough time for self-medication. If we do that, then all our problems can be solved. So, Ammar, do you want to add something to that?
Sir, basically what I think that it depends on every individual. That if he wants to balance work and life, then he can. Just the thing is, he has to realize that he should have to work to live, not live.
Bilal Ahmer, do you want to add something to what I just said?
Yes, I want to add that in layman terms, in the traditional sense, work-life balance means having 40 hours of work followed by unconnected weekends and employees of work leaves. Traditionally, we see work and life as competing activities, fighting for our time. The traditional concept of work-life balance is inaccurate because the evolution of global knowledge-driven business has diminished geographical boundaries and made time zone irrelevant. Looking at my own life, I certainly don't see a work life and a private life. I just see one life, mine being expressed in different aspects.
Okay, so would anyone like to add some final words to this discussion before we conclude it?
Yes, I want to say that instead of finding the balance, searching for the balance, we should actually just start living our lives. We just need to maximize our life wherever we are and whatever we are engaged in. That's the main point that I wanted to just put out.
Thank you, Bilal Arshad. Would anyone else like to add something to this?
Yes, I want to add. Manage your. I want to say that manage your energy, not your time. Every human being has natural energy cycles throughout the day. If you think carefully about your own cycles, you will probably be able to pinpoint to times when you eventually feel more focused and productive. Like as well as times where you had rather crawl into bed than spend another minute at the computer. Instead of trying to schedule every minute of your time and push through your low energy cycles, schedule your task according to your energy. Do your energy administrative tasks when you are in lull and more important works when you are energized.
I'd like to share an infographic with you guys. Can I share it?
Of course, by all means.
You can.
Thank you. This infographic shows us that how do Americans and rest of the people spend their whole day during which activities. They mostly spend 9.58 hours in personal care, which including sleep, and 5.13 hours in TV, leisure, and sports, while 3.61 hours in work and work-related activities, and 1.82 hours in household activities, and the rest of the activities, and the rest of the time they spend on the rest of the activities. This shows us that we have to divide our time equally so that we can balance both work and life, which is difficult. But if we work we try very hard, then we can do it.
Yeah, it's
Then we can do it
difficult,
easily.
but it's achievable. Yes.
Yes, it's
Thank you,
achievable, but it's difficult, but it's achievable.
Okay, so let's discuss everything that we have
Okay, Saad,
said
now
so
you
far
may
into our
conclude it.
meeting. So far, we discussed to remember, take breaks, and ask for help when I need it. We also discussed that we cannot have everything all at once, and some things have to be sacrificed in pursuit of others. We also discussed that life cannot be evenly divided into sections, and there is no such thing as true balance. And we also learned to schedule our work around our peak efficiency hours and also keep track of time. We discussed that everything cannot be scheduled, and there's a common misconception that work-life balance is 50% work and 50% recreation. And finally, we discussed that we have to concentrate at one thing at a time, and we have to set our priorities straight. And we also have to keep in mind that sometimes you also may have to work off hours. So to sum up, I conclude that the thing is, work-life balance is not actually impossible. It is theoretically possible, but it's actually quite difficult to pull off. To actually pull it off, one must be completely dedicated to its cause. One must completely work towards it, like really hard. But it is possible if every day you work towards achieving that balance, and sooner or later you will achieve it. However, if you have the mindset that you can never achieve work-life balance, then it's not going to happen. So does everyone agree on that?
Well, Saad, I could agree on that.
Yes, that seems fairly reasonable. I agree on that as well.
Yes,
I
I
like
do
to say the
agree.
last words.
Yes, it's quite reasonable.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
I do agree with
I
this
like to say the
start statement.
And with
I like
that,
to say the last words that Cesar Chavez, who is a great American civil rights activist, said that there is no substitute for hard work 23 or 24 hours a day, and there is no substitute for patience and acceptance.
okay, so before we end this meeting,
Thank you.
Bilal, Ahmer, or Ammar, would you like to add some final words to this?
No, sir, the reason which you provided is quite reasonable, so I'm agree on you.
Okay, thank you very much. So with that, we can finally end our meeting. It has been a pleasure working with all of you.